Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you. So today we arrived to the closure of our mind of Taurus, which for me arrived really fast. I don't know if this is into you too, but it's been like too fast. So so it's been nice. And somehow, I don't know why, I feel really really happy to begin with the emotional week. I don't know why, but I feel that. So it's nice. So today we wrap the idea of the mind concepts for Taurus, and I wanted to show you that I have here these seeds that have grown a lot with my intentions. So I'm really happy because every day I look at them, talk to them, and see them, the ones that are here and outside. And I felt happy because I saw that the carrots started to grow, that they take longer to grow up. But I saw today that they started to create roots. So happy. Oh, the topic for today, which is the well-being. That I forgot. So let's talk about the well-being. What do we believe is the well-being? How can we achieve it? What it really is and how can we achieve it? So what is the well-being, first of all, for ourselves in these times? We have an idea of what well-being means, that is basically to be well. So we describe the concept of well-being when we feel good, when we feel fine in our physical, our mental, our emotional way. So we describe this as a goal in our life, trying to be in this state of well-being so we can feel plenty. So we are looking for goods to feel well. We are looking for for having things in order to supply our bodies, our beliefs, our emotions. But the question here would be what it means to be well, what it really means, the word well, that we're looking for, that we are willing to achieve that concept. Just a moment. I forgot to put some colors so you can see better the images. Let's go to the meaning. Well-being. What it means, well-being. Well-being comes from two words, which are well and be. Well comes from the word will, that comes from the Indo-European language ver. That means desire, to wish something. And of course, be comes from the idea of to stay here, to stay in one place, to be in one place, which takes us to be firm or straight in something. So basically, this means that your wish is firm, your will is active and stands in one place. Strong will. So well-being would be that you have a strong will. So I will explain a bit the meaning of bien in Spanish for you in English, because it's a bit related to this concept here. The word bien, which translated is well in English, comes from the word Deu, that means empowered one or the worshipped one. So so it basically means that is someone that has the power itself, that can rule itself. So it's also the origin of the word God in Spanish. So as you see, because of the meaning, well-being is not related with accomplishing your goals in life and living properly, just having a house, sleeping in a good place, watching the TV, and having all the food you need, all the money you need, and say, this is the well-being. I'm fine. I don't need anything. I reached everything that I wanted in life. So that's not well-being. The reason why we usually kind of confuse the state of well-being with that is because in our society we run in order to have things, and this idea of having things gives us the concept of running into comfort. We can have comfort, and this idea of comfort is confused with laziness. So we reach comfort when we have things, so we don't have to do anything. So we become lazy. We believe that that's the well-being, that we don't have to do much in order to live. But that's a wrong idea of it. So when we speak about well-being, we can also relate it with the topic from yesterday, which is conformation, to conform something. The word conform. So conformism, conformity, we would say, is like kind of a synonym of well-being, because well-being is kind of related to feeling fine in one spot, and this is why some people can say that you reach well-being in the state of conformity. Is when you accomplish the good things, when you accomplish the needs that you have in your life, that you cannot complain anymore because you have everything. Maybe it had happened to you that some people tells you, why do you complain if you have everything? Why do you complain if you live plenty and you have all you need? If you are living fine, you have everything, why do you complain? For sure you have heard that sometime. So the reason why some people used to say this kind of sentence, like, if you have everything, why do you complain, is kind of a consensus in our cultures and society that was designed by something we call the state of the well-being. The state of the well-being is something that the states promote in the cultures, in which we create this idea that if we reach the main three three needs that we have, so we don't have anything else to claim for, because you already have what you really need. So why do you expect to have more than others if you already have everything? And that creates this idea that you have to conform with what you have, conformism. So conform yourself in one state, and that gives the states stability. So easy. The system works easy. So this concept of stability that creates the states is because when you create the idea that the well-being is all you need, that you have these three needs solved, it helps the states to have a society that is not willing to change, that is not judging the governments, not judging the education, the economies, or whatever. Because when you reach the state of well-being, nobody will complain and nobody would look for something more, because they are conformed. So the idea of this creation of the well-being is something that this idea of the well-being is something that the cults create in order to not make you go beyond of what you have. Like saying to you, if you have all you need, why do you want more? Why would you expect something different? So the system can position yourself into a situation of you willing to be better or more or have more or be rich beyond the other ones. So basically, the state of well-being is a strategy for the cultures and the systems for us to be in a constant status quo. So this is what, through centuries, create the cultural idea of the well-being. That you not complain, or you cannot expect to have something more or to do something more, because you already have what you need. So usually, when we talk about the well-being, the concept of well-being, we can understand that this is an idea. This is an ideology that what really helps is in moments of stability. So it's a good way to solve the problems of the main needs. Okay, so the state of well-being as an idea is really useful in those moments in which we need stability because we are having conflicts. But when we are already all fine, the state of well-being is not really, because it doesn't help you to evolve. It doesn't help you to transform yourself. According to this, if we would have been living constantly in a state of well-being, according to the culture, we would have computers or Wi-Fi, because maybe a few centuries ago, people would say, why to create computers if we have paper and pens with feathers and ink, and that works perfectly. And if we need to send a message, we have pigeons. So why would we need anything different or better if we already have what we need? We can write. So this is why we have to transcend the idea of what is the state of well-being. Because even though we have things, we still complain about the things that we have in order to find different ways to do them. And maybe we can find a way to transcend in a better way the one we have now. So we are able to be disconformed with what we have. Otherwise, there is no evolution. Because evolution implies transformation. Usually the states, the cultures, and the religions will usually try to conform structures of well-being, states of well-being, which we are trying to find stability in the people, so people cannot change or create conflicts. And this is why usually we can hear these conferences, this discourse, when usually the politicians says this beautiful speech in which they talk about the state of well-being, to feel fine, to be well, to have everything we need. Usually they don't go about or through the development. It just stays in the speech, and that's it. So the reason why politics would never really change in the course of evolution is because in order to have evolution, you need people that is not conformed with the things that they have. It's not conformed with a belief, an idea. And usually politics and religions are conformed with ideologies. And they don't want to change that. So that's why it never changes. I don't know if you have seen this, but the discourses of politicians and religions, they are done as repetitions from systems that were way before. They repeat themselves as a belief. The same rights that we have today in the republics were written by the Roman Republic 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, and we still have them. And politics usually talk about development and ideas, talking about the founding fathers of their countries from 300 and 200 years ago. Complete different context. This is why it doesn't work. So this is why the concept of well-being that we have is much more an ideology of stability than a will or an impulse of development and evolution. So the reason why we keep with this is because we are humans. And as humans, we need to eat, to sleep, and reproduce, and feel safe. So the systems were done in order to use our main needs and fears from the biology, from the physical aspect, not the psychological one, the physical one, in order to keep the status quo. And what it means, status quo. Status, to be equal. Status quo is when everything is equal, is instability. It's fine. But now let's go into the state of being from the point of view of consciousness. What it really means being aware of our well-being. So well-being meant when you are empowered with your own wishes and desires, and you are willing to act according to what you are. So it's not related to status quo. It's not related to supply the three needs. It's related to be empowered of who you really are. The state of well-being gives, and it's possible when we incorporate all the things that we have spoken this week. Let's remember them. I need to recognize myself as the source of all things. I need to recognize that I will live in my life those things with which I resound. That the energy that I get is my own responsibility. That I am abundant. That the strength is something that I get from inside. That security only achieved by being secure of myself. That I have within me all wealth. And that in order to do all this, I have to feel comfortable with myself. I missed one, that is matter. And matter would be that recognize that the spiritual power is in the expression, in the manifestation of matter. All these concepts takes me to understand that the state of well-being is not related with physical things, it's related to awakening all these powers within, recognizing that this is not a goal to achieve, that this is the state of being, is a constant in your life. So the idea of well-being, of feeling well, is not related of being quiet. To feel well is basically to know the will that you have within, to recognize the strength, the will to activate your inner potential. That's really meaning of feeling well. So in order to empower myself in this state of will, I have to acknowledge all the things that I have within in myself. So the only way you can do it is by knowing yourself. As the oracles in Greece used to say, know yourself. When I know myself, I find the potentials that I have within. So I empower myself with those potentials, and then I find my state of well-being. Let's go to the alignment for today. The vibration for today is the statement is I am eternal origin. The code for today is protozoa. They belong to the eukaryotic group. This means cells that have nucleus and inner organelles. Its name comes from the idea that they are the first forms of life that originated the animals. Still, they are unicellular, but use feeding and reproduction methods. They live in humid environments and sometimes grow and act as parasites. It's the smaller animal kingdom, and they are the foundations of our existence on Earth. Let's go to the alignment. Sit comfortable, close your eyes, and concentrate in your breathings. I become aware of the space around me, the body that I inhabit, and my own breathings. I use my imagination to expand space around me to the infinite, making it into a deep, dark void in which I find myself levitating. Take a deep breath and very slowly I start to stretch my body towards every direction, caressing the space around as if I am dancing. softly, I start to come back to myself in a fetal position, hugging my legs, and if I can't move them, I hug my body or hold my hands. I recognize myself in this position as a seed in the universe, a seed of the tree of life, a seed of the universal tree. And I feel within me the power, the potential to become a new universe. Above me, I perceive a ray of light that surrounds my body. I observe how this ray of light turns into a big drop of water that descends toward me. I can feel how this big drop of water and light touches my head and starts to get inside my body through my crown chakra. I perceive how this drop of water comes through the crown, the third eye, down by the throat, heart, plexus, sacrum, root, knees, and the ankles. And I can perceive how this drop of water is being absorbed by every organ, every muscle, bone, and skin. I can perceive from within the source that lives in me, resounding with the cosmos, activating the energy from inside that let me recognize that I am abundant, that in me lives the strength to be who I am, being able to manifest in the matter, feeling secure of myself, recognizing me rich in every sense and feeling comfortable to be with myself. All of this brings me into the state of the being that is the biggest one, the state of the well-being. I start to take deep breaths, opening the seed, taking all this potential out by opening it in the cotyledons of my legs and arms, letting the leaves rise in my hands, the roots go down by my feet, expanding this eternal state of well-being. Softly, my arms extend as branches, my fingers as leaves and flowers, and my legs go down to the ground as big roots. And I expand myself in this huge tree of life and the universe. And extending my branches and my roots, I feel both of them touching, creating the shape of a Taurus. A Taurus of eternal well-being. I am the eternal origin. I am the eternal origin. I am the eternal origin. I have the well-being in me. I have, I have, I have. I take a deep breath, and each one at its own time, come back here and now. And those who are following the task for this month, bring all this energy into the water and pour it in seeds that we have sowed. Thank you, everybody, for having accompanied me another week. And see you tomorrow, as always, at the same time, to begin with the emotional week of Taurus.